here as we just saw Elevate fall, but we'll take a look at the championship bracket. It's going to be single elim now, FaZe versus Rise, and Luminosity versus Orbit, kicking it off at the bottom half of our semifinals.
All right, first map here, Breakout, Hardpoint. Let's see what these guys bring to the table now. Maybe you're the one driving this one, so you get to choose who we watch off the start.
We're going to start with my buddy Raiden. We're going to see what he can do off the rip here for the side of Orbit. It should be an intense one. Breakout, one of the players' favorite hard points. What do you like about this particular map?
I love this map for Hardpoint specifically because it feels like your rotations matter. You have to invest time to set up going into the next hardpoint. Otherwise, you lose that early position and put yourself in a tough spot for the rest. But it's an early pre-name for Raiden as he picks off Classic.
Well, they've got set up here at Hut, also at loading, but unfortunately one flanker coming through, able to pick up a kill, but we will switch over to Zero and see what he can get going here early. Wrapping in the back, able to win one with the OSA. Unfortunately for him, a second one in. Players dropping all over. That's basically everyone falling for the side of Orbit. Let's switch things up. Switch over to Luminosity.
And like we've seen so far this weekend on Breakout Hardpoint, you want to control the scanner's side of the map for this first hardpoint here at the visitor room. You want to try to get the other team spawn up over near that spiral staircase where you see Orbit spawning up at now, just to try to get a bit of a small trap. It's very tough to break out of that position.
Well, nice two-piece there from Saints, making three as he picks up his teammate.
Right.
4 in total there, just slaying everything. That's a big part of the reason these three went over to join Saints. The slaying prowess of this young man. He's 7-3 to kick things off, also leading all players in hard point time. But now it's time to rotate over here to cell block.
Man, I love this Luminosity team because I feel like you have a great mix of explosive and consistent players. You know what Saints is going to bring to the table. Combine that with the explosiveness of players like Slack and Octane. You have a great mix of players here. But we're over at the cell block hardpoint. It's Classic trying to get things done, but 3 go down for Luminosity. Orbit taking control of the hardpoint as they're looking to tie the game up.
Well, let's look at the break side here. We'll see if Luminosity can get in. They haven't been able to do it yet. That's going to be 2 down. Classic may try to get something done. He was probably, I mean, maybe the best player yesterday for me. Classic, I feel like every single map in mode we watched him
just
play
so
on,
consistent.
he was absolutely destroying. A real beast.
But he had a big job to do there as he was the last one alive near the backside of the hardpoint. The rest of his teammates spawning up over near the showers. They tried to set up the pinch. Classic fell. They lost control of the spawns, and with 15 seconds remaining here, you want to start investing this time in a rotation over towards the graveyard hardpoint. Key positions to hold are going to be near that back covered side of the map. If you're able to set up there with a teammate watching your back, you can put all of your attention onto the hardpoint. So tough to fight somebody who's set up properly inside the cap.
Well, it looks like Zero is the one that's going to try and get set up here, at least try to hold the back spawns for his squad. They've got the cavern side of the map.
This is the spot.
They have one inside, and now he's got to do some damage with this OSA at range. Now, we saw some teams going kind of 2-2 yesterday with OSAs. Then with the K-Bar, we've seen a healthier mix of OSA today for sure. I think we've seen 3-1 kind of out of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you know, players were playing with, all sorts of different weapons coming into this event. So maybe some key players like Joe weren't used to use the OSA. It took them a little bit to get used to it. Now everybody's very comfortable with that weapon as this hardpoint well in control for Orbit. They're consistently barreling down and shutting down the Luminosity push. Just a great job for just holding and playing the proper positions here on the graveyard hardpoint.
Yeah, they rotated through the front side to begin things off, but then you saw one player coming around the back, Zero able to hold it for his team, and that was almost a perfect hold. I mean, they got basically every second here, and now we'll swap out. Let's go over to Urban as he's getting set up for the next hard point at Commissary. He's going to be watching the mid lane. He sees everybody coming, gets bullets in 1, tries to finish up a second, 2 in front, not able to do so, but they win the rotation battle yet again.
Yeah, probably should have backed up after you got that first kill. He knew that the Luminosity players were going to turn around and overwhelm him as Raiden still inside the hardpoint here. He gets cleaned up by Classic. Spawn's gone in Luminosity's favor as they control the back scanner side of the map. This is going to force Orbit to consistently push from showers across the wall run. Luminosity doing a good job. They have presence over near the middle of the map as well, so they're essentially trapping Orbit to one lane of the map.
Well, Orbit got there first, but they never really got anyone at the back. Back scanners, back helipad, able to get a little bit of control. Good job by Luminosity, and they need a big hardpoint here. They just got spanked kind of over by Caves. Now's their chance to bring things back. We'll see if they can do it here.
Yeah, they're doing exactly that. It's Classic heating up inside the hardpoint alongside Saints, both on a 3-kill spree. And they have the majority of the time for the team. You see Classic with 46 seconds and counting, Saints with 37 and counting. Good intuition shown by Classic as he turns around, picks off Urban. But we're about to go back towards the middle of the map. Luminosity currently holding the scanner side of the map. Let's see if they could execute that spawn trap.
All right, well, let's see. Let's go over to Zero because I think he's going to deal with some of the cutoffs as players start to rotate out, but he actually gets picked up after finding 1. The first person in will be raided, and now let's see if they can get the spawn trap like you mentioned. The player, seeing where Octane's standing, he's going to be the one. If they continue to spawn here, thankfully the rest of his team is on the opposite side of Hut.
He just killed himself with a grenade.
I wonder if it had you laughing. I was staring at the mini-map, so I was like, what's got him giggling?
Anyways, players starting to drop on the side of Luminosity. It's Orbit controlling the hardpoint, picking up kills on the outsides of the map. Now starting to push forward. Keep an eye on your mini-map right now. You see Luminosity spawning out over near showers, as well as near the scanner side of the map. They could pinch him from both sides and try to force Orbit to spawn out here with 20 seconds remaining.
Well, nice grenade
Not
coming
gonna
in from Raiden. Also going to find one kill. That was 4 down in quick succession for the side of Luminosity, so you're still seeing a 50 or so point advantage right now for Orbit. Fantastic job. I mean, there's really been 2 hard points. They got most of the time here, and then most of the time when you're out at Graves, where they just kind of locked it down. And that's where, what, a solid 100 points comes for them?
Yeah, and that's exactly where they have their lead right now, as they're about to go up by roughly 70 points, continuing to grow here as we make our way over towards the cell block hardpoint. It's Luminosity with early positioning, but of course, as you could tell by the minimap, the spawns coming in are in favor of Orbit, so they can continuously flood to the hardpoint. Important interaction going there between Classic as he falls to Urban. That means that the spawns will stay in control of Orbit.
Yeah, Orbit's got the backside. They're doing a solid job. Slack at least doing a good job staying alive outside and contesting. This is an interesting hardpoint, right? Because it extends all the way out to this balcony.
It can get quite annoying.
Yeah, it's really, really difficult to hold off contest. You have to have complete control.
Yeah, especially if you just lay down the doorways. If you're not able to lock down players coming across the wall, and Ruai gets popped there as Octane kills his teammate Slack. But like I was saying, and as we were saying, it extends to the outside. So if you can get past that wall run, you can contest, and just hold the outsides of the hardpoint here. But we're moving back over towards the Graveyard Zero with good positioning in the caverns. He has to hold this spot here.
All right, switching over to enemy only, a little bit easier, I think, to track for the viewer. I thought I did that before the game started. I guess that I did not. But Zero set up here again. Remember, this is where they really, really locked it down last time. He was huge for his team, but he's the only one up right now with Saints and Slack fill the kill feed, taking out most of Orbit. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got 3 in front, can't win the first gunfight. So now Luminosity's chance, but like you said, they're not holding the proper side. You want to be able to hold this cave side a little bit easier with cover, but now it's not. Right now it's not mattering. The grenades are flooding in. They're winning all of these gunfights. They're pushing Orbit out, not giving him a good chance here.
Yeah, it's a bit easier when you're on the side of Luminosity because you can dedicate all of your attention over towards Cavern instead of having to worry about somebody maybe flanking from behind. Great, here comes the bombardment being called in. We're over with Classic inside the hardpoint. He's got his active camo ready to go. Not sure if he wants to use it here, and it was Slack turning the streaks here for Luminosity. Looks like he's got Scorches as well as Trinity Rockets also to call in.
Well, Classic was on a 6 streak or so. Did he get towards anything? No, he didn't actually pick anything up. Saints now on a 4 streak. So you had a nice stretch of kills for Slack, Classic, and now Saints. So they're starting to string it together. Now you see the lead change. It was as much as 70 kills, and the difference there was grave. I mean, the control was almost completely flipped, right? It was 50 seconds
even though
Orbit now for Luminosity.
The cavern side of the map, they were unable to convert that to any point inside the hardpoint. It's going to be Saint popping his reactive arm here. Doesn't get too much dump, but
nothing
can open up room for his teammates. 3, 4 go down for Luminosity. It's a great hold for Orbit. Let's see if they could rebuild the lead that they once had.
Well, we got 45 seconds left on Commissary. Obviously, they're going to be pushing in again. They're going to try and make a play through. Zero doesn't find the kill. Thought he had an easy one. Rated falls as well, so now it will be Luminosity's hard point to hold. We'll see if they can tack on some extra time here.
It's also important to note that Joe used his active camo to try to break into the hardpoint. Still Luminosity with control. Of course, they're the ones with the lead right now. You still have Slack with some score streaks to call in. Maybe we'll see those in the upcoming hardpoint as we move back over towards the visitor room. But it's going to be Orbit finally able to break in through the middle of the map. Octane falls. Look at the scores right now. You want to try to get Octane a bit more involved in this game. We all know the type of impact he can have on a game. So if he's able to start to step up, go on a bit of a rampage, you can start to see Luminosity run away with the game.
And he's their lone K-bar player right now. The rotation going to come in, but the streaks are going to come in as well. You see them hitting across that right side of the map for the visitor room spawn coming in for Orbit. Doesn't really pick up much, but Octane is going to get a decent position here. You'd like to have an OSA, though, there. You're going to get melted.
Yeah, the Trinity Rocket was used there by Slack. Didn't pick up many kills, if any. Now he's going to waste no time. Scorchers do get pinged. So he knows where everybody's set up here for Orbit. This is the exact spawns we were talking about. It's tough for Luminosity to break out from this far staircase. Finally, they're going to spawn out. Now pitching it from the scanner side of the map. Rated so aware of what's going on. Immediately turning around as 4 go down for Luminosity. Orbit retaking the lead.
This has been as back and forth as they come. Another lead change here. Orbit looking to do some damage. Still 20 seconds or so left before we're going to see them rotate out to cell block. Kills coming in. Let's hop back up.
That was a pretty good break.
All 4 dead. That's a perfect break there from LG.
Nades now coming in from Joe as Slack gets cleaned up. You see the spawns coming in on the map, but both teams going to be quite late on the rotation over towards the cell block hardpoint. Both of them kind of overcommitting. You see in the top hand of the minimap Orbit, they're going to win the rotation battle with the key kill onto Slack. Zero picking that one up, so they should have spawns initially for this cell block hardpoint. Let's see if Orbit can hold on here as they still have just a little bit of a lead.
Nice shots coming in for Zero there, and now they're going to try and hold. Wins yet another gunfight. They're trying to push across the wall run and into balcony 1 in front. The melee is going to get it done. That's going to be 4 in a row. Trying to find the 5th. Able to do it. 5 in a row for 0. 34 and 23. The 6th just out to his right, and I believe he just ran in by. Yeah, see, there was someone on the screen. Make it 7. He is lighting up the scoreboard. 8th in front. Teammate finds it. 250 off the Warden, and they're looking to shut the game down here.
Great angle for 0 to hold as well, as he's 25 points away from the Warden, just trying to pick and choose his battles here. He knows that his life is important, and fortunately he's running the Striker rig here, so he's got the Trophy Drone trade on as well. Doesn't have to worry about any lethal grenades that might be tossed his way. 100 points away from the Warden. If he's able to secure that, it might be lights out.
That would cement the game. You got to think with him hitting the 235 mark, and now the rotation is going to come in. He just wants to make sure he doesn't get kind of caught on the cross. There it is in front, and there is full streaks. 4-0 going huge here. 1 in behind, but the damage has already been done. They should be able to close out the game with or without the streaks.
And Orbit could take their time breaking its hardpoint. Not only do they have a Warden in the air, Zero's going to use some bombardment here. It's a wide open hardpoint. Luminosity have to leave the hardpoint in order to dodge the score streak coming in.
They're going to have to leave, and this has been one of the ones that's more back and forth, but it shouldn't matter. These couple of kills, finishing, get one more bullet, you can do it, Shirley. The assist will come in, but they haven't been picking up any time here. There's streaks coming in from Slack that have kind of kept them out of the hard point as well. But with so few points needed, you got to think it's just a matter of time. One more kill, that should be it. Orbit taking game 1.
Man, you hear the guys on the Orbit squad getting hyped up. It's a big first map win for them. Taking a look at the scoreboard real quick. 0. My God, did he have a good game. 43 kills, 24 deaths, plus he has a minute 46 inside the hard point.
There's a reason we talk about 0 being the best player in Europe last year, or amongst them. I think he was the best. And then when you take a look at it coming into this year, all that momentum's still going. He's incredible. He's playing great. Right up there with the top North American talent. You can see what he just did against a team that has 4 very, very strong Slayers in Luminosity. 0 didn't have much trouble, did he?
Yeah, not at all. And his teammates are there to back him up as well. The person with the least amount of time inside the hardpoint, that's Urban, 36 and 37. But everybody pitching in for Orbit. But if you take a look at the side of Luminosity, Slack goes even 40 and 40. Aside from that, you got to get Octane more involved in the game. 27 and 39. Not really the numbers we expect from a player like Octane, and he only pitches in with 7 seconds inside the hard point.
Yeah, and Doug, you know, he was the one running the K-bar. I think his 3 teammates running the OSA, and you saw a couple times he was in a position, and this was, you know, kind of back to weapon draft too, before that was removed. You have to be in smart positions with a lot of these guns, and when he's close range, you saw him playing inside a hut, really, you're not going to win a gunfight with a player flying around the corner of the OSA.
Has like a backup OSA class.
I'm sure you would hope so.
Like if he's not getting into a rhythm with the K-bar, you might as well just swap off. Use the OSA.
Yeah, because that is going to be difficult at close, even to medium range at times to win gunfights there. But we are now going to be heading to retaliation for search and destroy. And let's see, who do we have on offense first? It looks like it is going to be the boys of Orbit.
And while Octane didn't find success with the K-bar, so he brings out the NV4 here. So trying to work maybe an early pick. Of course, they're on the defensive side. It's going to be Orbit able to attack on offense, and I think we could agree here that for the most part, we've seen the offense win more rounds than the defense so far this weekend. So it's going to be important for Orbit here to set the tone early by winning their first offensive round.
Well, I think the first gunfight may come to 0. See if he can continue his hot streak, but he gets kind of pinched from both players there at the doorways, up by Patio. Trading it out, ready able to find one second player. He knows is there. Teammate finds it. All of a sudden, it's Octane by himself. Now you had a rough game 1.
He's spotted. I think they know he's here.
No, he's dead. He's getting to. He challenges. Surely does not win that. Oh, he had another one behind him as well. He was in trouble.
Bit of a questionable challenge. You're tagged up. You don't know exactly where they are. The other team has the positional advantage.
He jumps back in both of them. Like, hello, surprise, but not really one at all.
There's a very low percentage that he actually wins that engagement. But look, Orbit, they set the tone early. They take their first offensive round. Now it's going to be Luminosity with a chance to respond.
All right, so let's start off with Slack. Let's see what they can do here on the offensive end of things. Looks like they're going to be hitting hallway for now, trying to find some kills in by Patio. It's a very popular area of the map, so strong. He can get control here, makes it an easy plant. Shots a little bit shaky, not able to find it, but trading it out is classic. 1, 2, give him 3, not able to do it. It's going to be a 2 versus 2. Saints and Octane now going up against Zero and Joe. Plenty of time on the clock. Now, who may be getting in behind? Hello? Oh, doesn't check his left.
That's
Joe,
okay. He's still in a great position.
Yeah.
Could come up behind the more important player, which would be on the high ground. I think he's...
Good job staying alive. Really good job staying alive.
Yeah, he gets out of there.
And wins the gunfight. Octane punished for chasing, and now it is all down to Saints. He's put himself in a 1v1. He has a backup K-bar. Nice, because he only has 4 shots left of the OSA. He's going to get that reloaded. You can see one player left then in grave. He's got bomb to work with. 30 seconds left to go. This is going to be an intense 1v1.
Okay, so 0 versus Saints. Time winding down. 25 seconds remaining. And 0 couldn't be further away from Saints right now. Bomb is going to get planted, and now the ball is in 0's court. He's got to make something happen. Has to pick up the kill and defuse the bomb.
And you know how so frequently these can just come down to timing. You need a little bit of luck. Now the question is 0 spot him? I think he did. Look at the way he's hunting. I think he saw him. Should be coming up behind him in a second. Will he check his right? He's going to check it. Not able to win it. 0. The man of the hour in the hard point continues to be clutch. That's his first kill, but it's a crucial one to give them a 2-0 edge.
You know, the important interactions going down at the very beginning of the round. You figure if Slack shoots straight and picks up that first kill, Luminosity get the man advantage very early on.
Yeah.
So fortunately, Classic was there to trade the kills out. Saints was able to bring it down to a 1v1 as he was able to track Joe off the top of the wall run. But good stuff being shown by Orbit so far in this game, winning the first 2 rounds.
Well, Classic finds the 1, and then, I mean, because he was weak from Slack, it was basically a 1 bullet that he was able to come through with. But now it's going to be back to offense for Orbit. And let's, all right, we've spent a lot of time with 0. Let's go on with Urban. We haven't watched Urban too much throughout this. I know everyone's been talking about what he's been able to do with propulsion. His movement has been absolutely insane. Let's see what he can do here. He seems to be on a wall pretty much constantly. He's like the European Nagafin.
Anyways, this is the part of the map you want to hold if you want to attack that B-bomb site near the top roof area. You see through the X-ray vision players all around here for Urban, as they're just looking for an opening here as they make their way over towards the bomb site. The objective gets planted. Now, Luminosity looking to pounce. Slack picks up first blood there, underrated. Urban with the line of sight. His kill starting to be traded out. One player inside the bedroom, and 0 picks up 2. Down to 2v2. 0 falls. Joe left in a 1v2.
Now, see if Joe can clutch up. We saw 0 win a 1v1. He's got 2 to work with. He's going to get an easy kill on 1. Tries to get away.
Nice.
Able to dip back in. Hits his head for a second. Going to re-challenge. Now, he probably has no idea. I love this play by Octane. As Octane goes underneath, I don't think he really has any clue how this is going to work, but it's back-to-back 1v1s. Yep, he is going to get spotted.
No need
to
peek here.
That's it.
And that's going to be the round 1. He also has a jammer grenade if he's trying to toss it over. Even though Octane picks up the kill, not enough time for him to get the bomb defused. A smart play by Joe, as he really predicted Octane to not repeat that fight. Instead, Octane committed, tried to cut him off at the flank. Good movement by Joe as he puts himself in the advantageous position. 3 rounds played.
I like the play by Octane, just kind of hit it with no hesitation, but unfortunately for him, at the same time, Joe basically does the same thing with the opposite direction.
It was a good read by Joe. Good read by Joe. Anyways, Luminosity now back on offense. I would go out to say that this is nearly a must-win round for Luminosity. They're starting to dig themselves deep in a hole that if they keep on giving up rounds, it's going to be too much to come back from.
They're already in a 1-0 hole here from the hard point. We talk time and time again about how crucial this position is. He sees him. He's able to pick up the kill. Tries to get away as well. All of a sudden, 0 by himself. This surely will be the first round. There is a party outside in patio, and you see via X-ray 3 players basically jumping around. Not able to get
I guess
done.
there is a world where maybe they all line up there for 0. You can pick up 3, but everybody from Luminosity are well aware of where he's located. Easy for them to trade this kill out. Octane finishing things up. As Luminosity, they're on the board. A perfect round for them there.
They needed that. They needed a round, and a perfect round certainly helps.
They had to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, they really, really did. So let's start off with 0 here. Off the break. Or sorry, with Joe. Off the break, we'll see how they plan to attack this. Looks like they're going to be hitting lower street, but they're flying out of marketed steps as well. Aggressive from either team, but the grenades connect, and 2 down immediately from Luminosity. It's a 3v2 advantage.
I'm actually surprised that more players aren't running Blast Shield on this map, especially if you're going to hit that B-bomb site so quickly. You know that grenades are coming. You know that there are cars that blow up right outside the bomb site.
Well, I think he tagged up 2, and then one got finished probably by 1 bullet, but he gets the kill on 1. And now they're getting the bomb down. So let's switch perspective over to the defense, who now has to work to get a defuse, try and clutch up here, just trying to spot, get eyes on anyone. It is Octane. If he waits a second, we'll be able to see 1. Can he one? Wow.
Solid shots by Rated there.
It's a headshot. I mean, that's why it was so fast, but he just got erased.
He literally just got deleted off of the bat. Octane also had FTL jump available going into the next round as Luminosity, they drop another one. 4-1 in favor of Orbit here as they're looking to go up 2-0 in the series.
All right, let's see if LG can have another magic round. They've only had 1, but it was a dominating effort that we saw. Well, let's take a look at the class for Octane. So he's going to be running the NV4. He does have FTL jump, like
He's
you
got
mentioned.
one perk.
He'll also have the backup BNC. Yeah, Dead Silence is really all he's going with. You were asking for more flak jacket here. Well, thankfully he's playing back. Oh, did he just spot out the flank? I think he did.
May have heard them too.
He needs to get back, get some cover here, try and get himself in an advantageous position in case they push through.
And now you see the remaining Luminosity players, because Octane gets this information, they're going to try to capitalize on that. But here comes First Blood from Rated as he's holding over near the market area. Does get traded out by Slack around the flank. Here comes Zero. Shuts down Octane. No FTL jump for him in this round, as Zero has one of his own. It's down to a 3v2 man advantage for Orbit.
That's been the entire game. They've had man advantage every single round, but that one obviously explosive round from Luminosity. I feel like they've been playing off the back foot. We'll go to Zero because he's going to have a battle here in the street, able to tag one up, should be traded out pretty quickly. And now it's just on Saints. 1v3, can he be the hero LG needs? This is not going to be easy.
And look, Orbit are playing this perfectly. No reason to split up here. Just stay together. You have the man advantage. Work it in your favor. They're going to just group up, clear the bomb sites, just group and sweep the match.
And just like that, he falls 5-1. This is a bloodbath for Orbit.
It's not even close.
No. I mean, Orbit is basically, what, they've won series 3-0, 3-1, 3-0, and they got 3-0'd by FaZe.
Yep.
But outside of that, they've been handling everyone else easily.
Yeah, and plus, you got to figure the more they play here at PSX, the better they're going to get over time. Just getting a feel for how these American teams want to play as we're entering what could be the final round. It's going to be Orbit here on offense. You have Camo available here for Joe. Could definitely make a play off the back of that. Payloads being earned by both teams. Luminosity, they don't even want to fight through the market side of the map. Let's see if they can make something happen here off the quick flank.
Well, he does have camo. I'm curious. I mean, if he pops it here to make a play in Hotel, he certainly give himself one kill, but maybe you have such an advantage right now, you're not going for the dagger, you just want to try and
you have a lot of risks to take here. You have rounds to play with. You don't necessarily have to play standard search and destroy here.
Well, oh no, pushing through the flank. Zero surely going to be picked up in just a second. This might be LG's second round. Bomb is getting planted by Rated, but it is going to be at a 2v3 position.
And in the spot Orbit's in, you just want to waste time off the clock. You know that Luminosity, it's going to take them a lot of time to get all the way back over near this side of the map. So just find a comfy position to play with and try to pick somebody off in the rotation.
And hitting this wall run and flanking all the way behind, he's definitely going to come behind at least one. He's able to find one, turn this into a 2v1. Is Octane now by himself, has to come up clutch. He's not even able to find the 6-1 victory. Orbit making this look easy.
I mean, look, Luminosity had the man advantage in that round, but because they had to traverse the entire map to get over to the bomb site, they wound up getting picked off one by one. And I like Orbit find 2 1v1 engagements, and they win them both.
I like what Zero did. I mean, at first I was like, he's leaving his teammate all alone in Graves, but the fact that he hits the wall run and kind of wraps back, he gives himself a free kill. He comes behind the opposition.
And now look, Luminosity entering the uplink. This is one of their better game modes, and this is their chance to come back to the series. Very similar theme to them last year as well, when they were the best uplink team at the beginning of Black Ops 3. They used to use that game mode specifically to find their way back into a series. Let's see if it's the same case here in Infinite Warfare.
I think Looney was one of the better uplink players in the game, though, and you're missing that piece now. We'll see if that still holds consistent here, but you still have a lot of talent in that particular
So the
game.
trade-off you get there is you have Looney, who's very good with the drone in his hands, very good around the objective, and you trade that out for a pure raw slayer in Saints. And that's something that's been hurting them in this series, the fact that they haven't been able to keep up with this lane that Orbit brought. You
Which
think
shouldn't
back to that
be
first
their problem.
It shouldn't be an issue, right?
No.
You figure a team with Octane, Slacked, as well as Saints should be able to slay just fine, but we're moving into the uplink. We're going over to throwback for this action. This is do or die time for Luminosity.
It really is. Let's see if they can get it done now as we begin to hop into our third map. Now, let's see. I mean, I feel like I got to spend some time with the side of LG and see if they can begin to bounce back. I know one player hasn't loaded in yet, so we may be having a little bit of a delay, possibly a restart here, as one player from Orbit not able to make it in. So looks like we'll be filling a little bit more while we just wait for them to get started. But let's talk about this then. This particular map, you've talked about what you've seen from LG. These players historically kind of in uplink. Let's talk a little bit about the other side. What do you expect for these guys from this weekend as far as Orbit goes when it comes to uplink? You like their play style?
They've been looking all right for the most part. I still feel like just the basic EU type of play style that they bring to Call of Duty, I like to refer to it as like the montage style of play. And if you ever watched like Call of Duty back in the day, especially European players, back then, like, you always had a pistol in your class, and they would always challenge with the pistol, try to extend the play to get that 3-piece, get the 4-piece. I still feel like in the European Call of Duty players' minds, you still have that, like, little bit of over-aggression in your mind. And they're slowly starting to get away from that, playing more for, like, the safe plays and the more consistent plays that you're going to get results from. But they still have a little bit of that, especially in a game of, like, uplink. I feel like that definitely hurts them more than it helps.
All right, Revan, great stuff as always, but it is now time for Game 3. We'll start off with LG and see what they can do off the rip. They can get a bit of control. Talk to me a little bit about Uplink on this particular map, how it plays, maybe what side of the map is favored.
Well, sure. There isn't necessarily a side that's favored here, but you want to control this bike pad side of the map. That gives you easy avenues to both goals here. Slack opens things up with 2 kills. Joe's there to respond. Man advantage here for Luminosity is now they should be able to get the drone in their control. Now from here, because they have control of the bike pad, they have 2 options available. You could try to force it all the way through the grandma's house and try to get a dunk, or you can actually wall run off the back side of the grandma's and get a 1-point toss from there.
Well, so far, I mean, a hot start from Slack. He's 3-0, playing very smart, kind of playing his life. Doing a nice little bait and switch job there by him in Classic, and now he wants to try and get forward. Has some coverage in front, looking to make a play. The 1-point toss away and intercepted, not able to get that through. 3 into falling during the course of that.
It's a big defensive play, but here comes Octane, can run back. Picks up the drone carrier first. Octane will get cleaned up by Urban, but still slowing down the push from Orbit. That was the goal that Octane had in mind. And I believe he accomplished that. Now his teammates can push up on the map. They have control of their top tickets as well, so they can fight through the middle map. Never mind. Zero came to play. 3 down for LG. Orbit now pushing up.
I can't shoot the OSA range like that.
You can't shoot anything.
That's true, but it jumps so much. The control from these pro players is just absurd. Shot is away and able to knock it through. 1 point on the board.
Those throws look a lot tougher than they actually are. You figure he's got players shooting at him. He's trying to line it up mid-air while
they look easier than they are.
There. Not an easy throw to make. Is Orbit continuing to slay after this? All 4 go down for Luminosity. This is a great opportunity for Orbit to get a good hold on the game.
They're going to push from the bowling side of the map, look to get more points on the board. Did they go for the dunker for the 1-pointer? Looks like they just want to toss it through a little bit short. That's what you talked about.
It was easier than the previous.
Yeah, it looks easy, but it can be tough when you know there's shots coming in from both sides. You're getting calls from your teammates. It's a bit hectic. And where we are in the stage of this game, it's still early. People haven't got their tosses down pat. I mean, the arc of this game, the trajectory kind of your drone toss versus what we had in Black Ops 3, very, very different.
Yeah, and for those who may not play Uplink that much, maybe in the public matches, the drone feels like heavier in this game. I like to describe it as playing basketball with a medicine ball.
Everything feels a little bit more weighted, right?
Yeah.
Your movement does a little bit less floaty. Also with the drone shots, I thought maybe Orbit might try to get another one on the board there, but they will get shut down, and finally we get a change of possession here. Maybe chance for Luminosity to get a little bit something going. They're pushing the drone up towards Lemon here on bike path, just trying to find an opening. It looks like it just rolled right back down the hill.
After a couple of opportunities for Orbit to get points on the board, Luminosity stabilized. Now it's their turn to turn up the aggression here. You have Classic on a 4-3. Never mind.
What
Orbit,
just happened?
Another great defensive hold. I mean, look, in Uplink in this game, you need 2 cycles of kills, right? You need 1 cycle to establish your control of the map. You need another cycle to then go on in and get the points after that. Luminosity didn't get that second cycle of goals. Orbit hold on the defensive end, and now we're back to square one, fighting for the bike path side of the map.
And God, Urban is shredding right now. That's 6 in a row. He's 13-5.
Urban came to play.
His movement is disgusting. He's always taking like I don't want to say awkward angle, but a different angle in a gunfight because he's always hitting off a wall run, whether it's kind of middle, high, always making it difficult, giving himself a favor, typically to have first shot. Kind of sick what we've seen him able to do is 0 finds 1 before getting pushed in window.
Yeah, 0, 3, and 8 right now. Another player you want to get more involved in the game if you're on the side of Orbit. On the side of Luminosity, really everybody around the same area, around that even mark. Anyways, back into the action. Urban under screen here. Orbit fighting for middle map control. Neutral drone down there. You see Classic set up to try to contest this, but the rain comes in, going to shut him down as Orbit now going to surge on forward, fighting more players near the middle map. Both teams trading kills back and forth, trying to establish their control over the middle of the map as well as bike path.
Well, this is the first close game we've kind of had. The S&D was a blowout. The hardpoint was a blowout, at least kind of towards the second half of that when you saw Orbit really heat up.
And you got to figure if Urban's not performing like he is right now, maybe Luminosity starts to run away with this game a little bit.
It's true. I mean, it was 0 kind of carrying the slang in that game 1. Urban's certainly doing it for Orbit right now, but this could be another chance for a toss. Little pass comes in.
That's
Urban
a great move
gets
to give Urban the dunk. He gets the extra points. He's already working towards streaks. Unfortunately, he gets taken out, but now he's got his rewind ready to go.
So 3-0 advantage, 45 seconds left in the first half here. Orbit looking to 3-0 LG if they can hold on here. I mean, what does Luminosity need to do different? They've been getting beat up pretty much throughout this series. What do they need to change up, or is it too little too late? Like
it's not too little too late. You still have a whole nother side coming up, but keep in mind, for the most part of this first side, Luminosity were fighting out of their base. Orbit did a great job of establishing their control of the map. But the few opportunities that Luminosity did have, they just didn't get that second cycle of kills. Time after time, Orbit held on to their base on the defensive end, and also you got to go back to that 1 interception that Orbit had as well. That could have been at least 1 point for Luminosity.
That's true. That was very early in the game. Slack, though, in a good position to find maybe a couple. Just does get one. The 1-point toss doesn't get off in time. So no points on the board. We'll go into the first half, 3-0 lead, and it's been an Orbit-controlled series. It was an Orbit-controlled half. And they are looking very poised to take this and move on to the grand final.
I know that Orbit were looking very good, but from the scrims I've seen against other top North American teams, Luminosity looked really darn good. Granted, I haven't seen like too much search and destroy from them. The occasional like tournament here and there, just online practice match. This type of environment is completely different, but in the respawns, they've just been getting way outplayed by Orbit. Something I really didn't expect.
No, I thought this was going to be a really close series. When we first looked at it, I was like, this is going to be a tight one. Okay, something might be wrong.
Yeah, it looks like there might be a slight issue there on the Luminosity end. Could get a restart here, but despite that, Orbit, they keep on playing. Not entirely sure what the issue is here.
I am not entirely sure either. It looks like they're going to keep putting points on the board. Orbit fully taking advantage of this. They're dunking on through. But I'll take a seat. I have to stand and cast, you know? I'm old. I have to get a good angle on it. We'll try and figure out what's going on. They're talking to Mud Dog right now to see what the issue is.
Now, this would kind of, I guess, suck a little bit for Orbit if they do want to get this reset, because they had payloads ready to go. You see Luminosity, they're still getting progression as well. But it was, what, a 3-0 lead going into the half? Looks like we might be getting at least a reset of the second half here. So waiting word from the official word.
Yeah, as soon as we have more information, we'll let you guys know. Not entirely sure at this point what's going on, but it seems there's some questions. At least it looks like Mud Dog explained the issue. It seemed like Orbit is understanding what's going on, so we'll wait and figure out what's going on. Thanks, guys, for being patient, though. Something going on with LG, and as soon as we know, we'll tell you more. But it was a 3-0 advantage for Orbit at the half, a 2-0 advantage in the series, so as long as they can pick up the second half here, they're going to take this one.
Yeah, now if you're on the side of Orbit, you're going into the half, you have a lead, you're looking to close out the series, as you pointed out. Your mindset starts to change a little bit. Now you worry about the objective second. You worry about winning the break here, especially in game modes where there's a significant respawn delay like uplink. Winning the break gives you all sorts of control around the map. Gives you man advantage, gives you map positioning as well. You can start to make things work after that. The idea here is that you want to pin Luminosity as far back away from the neutral zone as you can, and we just got word that we will be replaying the second half here, so it's going to be Orbit with that 3-0 lead.
Well, I think I heard 5-0 lead. I'm going to have to confirm that, but I believe I heard 5-0 lead. We'll find out. 5-0. 5-0. 5-0 second half. Okay, so not sure exactly what went down, but 5-0 lead, so Orbit definitely in control here going into the second half, and they're going to be going on to play, most likely, as long as they can close out the second half, going on to play in the final.
And that would be great because then we'd be guaranteed a European team in the final, NA versus EU.
Yeah, but I mean, if you take a look at the other side, you got to think FaZe is my top two coming in were Luminosity and FaZe. At least for North America, as we haven't spent much time with the EU teams. FaZe is going to be able to take that. Okay, so it is a 3-0 lead. Yeah, that makes more sense. So it'll be a 3-0 lead going into the second half. But FaZe, remember, they already did play Orbit, and they kind of handled them, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you got to figure Orbit. They had some time to, after the day, go back, rewatch the film, take a look at what FaZe were doing right, what they were doing wrong. Plus, you got the tweets going on between Clay and Rated, so that rivalry started to heat up.
I didn't even see those. They were getting a little hyped up, a little confrontational. Well, I know Rated can be a little bit chippy on Twitter with anyone to begin with, and Clay's one of the most passionate human beings in the history of anything. But, guys, thanks again for your patience. Should be good to go in just a moment here. Just looking across the players. Looks like they're just waiting for the okay to start, and we should be all right. Does LG have any chance here to come back? You think they can take this game and continue the series?
They're only down by 3 points. They have 5 minutes to play with here. There's plenty of time for them. But like I was saying, I was bringing up points for Orbit, how their mindset changes a little bit. It's also the same on the Luminosity side. Because they're losing, because their backs are against the wall, sometimes you start to speed up your gameplay so much that you forget about the steps it takes to score an uplink. And we saw that a little bit in the first half, right? When they were down, when they had few opportunities here and there to get points on the board. They kind of skipped that second step. They forgot to get the second cycle of kills, and they tried to rush things a little bit. Slow and steady's going to win the race here.
Oh, they've got backs up against the wall to try and bounce back. Seeing the faces here of the Luminosity side. There's not a lot of energy. Not getting too hyped up here. Oh, and I don't believe I got the sides swapped here, thinking they're going to be slipping on the opposite side. So we may have the colors flipped here, unfortunately.
I can forgive you for that mistake.
No, it looks like we're still okay. No, I lied. We're not.
No, we're not.
That's
all right.
fine. That's all right.
It'll be okay, Maven. I forgive you for that.
I was even thinking about it. We're going into the second half. Okay, so we will focus on let's focus on LG as they're trying to come back. Remember, down 0-3. We'll start things off with Classic.
Also, keep in mind, very rare that you'll see a payload earned in this 5 minutes, so they're not going to have too big of an effect here for the second half of uplink. Also, it's still with Orbit with a 3-0 lead. It's up to Luminosity to battle back here as there we go. Orbit winning the break here. They pick up 2 kills, but here comes Octane. He finds one alongside Saints. So they're barreling through. They're trying to take control of this bike path side of the map. Still nobody yet to pick up the drone.
Drone now going to go to Classic. First touch of the game, just trying to toss it forward, but you saw his teammate drop in front. Slack trying to come up the back, sees the shadow, not able to win that gunfight, so a little bit of control, maybe going to be set now for the Orbit side. We'll focus on Joe. He sees one pushing out by Lemon, shots a little bit all over the place. You can see the recoil can be a bit wild. If you don't hit that first bullet, it starts hopping all over the place.
And the reason why the OSA is so dangerous in these pro players' hands is because they're very good at controlling that recoil and keeping their shots steady. Now the drone will get reset back to the middle of the map. Just going back to the previous point I brought up, as 1 minute is now off of the clock. 3 minutes, 55 seconds remaining. Orbit, I think they're more focused about getting the kills first than worrying about the objectives second.
Well, that was 4 down for Orbit, so this may be a good opportunity here. We'll swap over to Classic as he's going to have drone in hand. But you have to kill another cycle, right? You can see them spawning right on top of the drone, right on top of their uplink. And they may be able to hold here unless they can find a couple more kills. No one touching the drone, just worried about getting the kills. And they just grabbed the drone and tossed it out.
Just slowing down the Luminosity push. Now they have to back up. Pick up
did they just run out through blue? Or sorry, through bowling? They just ran out through bowling and ran in behind?
Well, Urban did, yeah. Urban cut in like through the middle of the map, went towards their underpass, but stayed on his side of the map. He was able to get over towards the drone carrier, took it down, tossed the drone 400 yards, and that significantly slows Luminosity down here.
Slows them down big time. We still don't have a score in this second half. Watching Octane now. Shots not able to finish it up. It's going to be just Saints now alive. He is able to kill the drone carrier, but he does get tossed forward. Unfortunately, I think Joe, he has that slay in front mentality, which you should have. Didn't worry about the drone. Just got forward to find kills. One more to deal with. Dipping, diving, finds it. All 3 down. That means Urban, he's got a dunk. 5-0 advantage. Back to Joe as he keeps on slicing. There's another. He has a Trinity rocket to work with, and he continues to find kill. And, you know, you saw the drone get passed up to him. He said, screw it, push forward, got to the base, and found the next rotation of kills. That's exactly what he needed to do. And now they get the dunk. He's 150 off the Warden, 25 off the Warden. This is 6-6 stuff from Orbit. They are locking this game down.
And this is exactly what Joe brings to the table here for Orbit Gaming. At times we like to joke around and refer to him as like the budget scump, as he's going to earn the Warden here. He just has the capability to go off. He's the EU scump. 9 kills in a row here for Joe, as it's Orbit really starting to build a lead here. Luminosity able to get a 1-point toss in, but the Warden has been called in. Bombardment used as well, still Trinity rockets available. As Luminosity, they got to deal with this, and they got to deal with it fast. Unfortunately, they only got 2 minutes remaining.
This spree just continues for Joe as he hits double digits.
Do you think red hair just automatically makes you better at Call of Duty?
Apparently it does, but then why is Benson so bad?
That's a valid point.
Oh, he finally died. All right. It was a good run, Joe. I mean, Zero's 2-8. He had an abysmal first half.
There's not really many more kills to get when Joe has 16, 17 of them.
It was Urban carrying in the first half. It's now been Joe here. So whatever reset Luminosity did, I don't think it worked out in their favor too much.
So many threats here on the northern side of the map, and when you have somebody who could be explosive like that, like Joe, he has a big performance here. That takes a lot of pressure off somebody like Zero, or somebody like Urban, because they no longer feel like they have to perform map in and map out.
This Warden is sitting over their spawn.
That's rough.
It's sitting over their spawn, just decimating them right now. This is tough to watch. I mean, there's
the Warden kind of counts as like 2 extra players on the map.
Basically, right?
Anyways, Orbit really starting to run with this game. Not much Luminosity can do. A minute remaining. They're down by 7 points overall.
Hey, the Warden's gone. The Warden's gone.
Sure, that's one thing. 50 seconds remaining. They're trying to push this one through the courtyard side of the map.
So they
tough to make it work.
They need to pick up 7 points at this point. Remember, there was the 3-0 advantage from the first half. So a lot to certainly do. 4 maybe possible. 7, I don't think so. We'll see if they can get anything going here. Trying to find the drone. Shots on target. Should have at least one dunk. We'll see Saints. Oh, maybe not a dunk. Oh my God, they still don't get points there.
Like I was saying, you got to get that second cycle of kills. But in the situation they're in, they have to force it to.
Yeah,
right? They have no time to work with.
You surely could have got a 1-point toss, right? You had to go.
That is going to do it, man. Orbit 3-0ing Luminosity. What a statement game here for Orbit Gaming, as that was a one quick semifinal series.
That was. I mean, none of the games. Yes, you had the hard point was relatively close over the first half, kind of until Zero exploded. But that's about it. Other than that, I mean, I feel like most of the matches I've cast this weekend have been blowouts. I know we've had a couple Game 5 series. There's been some crazy maps.
It's been a good mix.
The ones I have partaken in have been just destruction.
Congratulations to Orbit Gaming. We'll be seeing you in the grand finals as they conclude the swift 3-0 over Luminosity Gaming, a European team now in the grand final. It's great to see here. I love the international.
And I'll tell you what I did see. Saw FaZe, they're here in attendance. Saw Clay, Zuma, the guys have been watching Orbit. They know what they'll be up against if they make it to the final. Now Orbit's going to have a chance to kind of sit back and watch the next two teams play and see what they may be working with, but Orbit looks very, very good.
And I think we do favor FaZe going into the next series. Maybe they could find their spot going up against Orbit in the grand finals. Last time these two teams matched up in the tournament, FaZe hit Orbit with the swift 3-0.
Yeah, it's true. So we'll see if that'll be a repeat performance, but Orbit, no slouches, man. I felt good about this squad coming in. The top two team in Europe. I think certainly most would consider just looking at the talent, even though we haven't seen a lot of action yet, but incredible stuff. Luminosity, unfortunately, sent packing for now, but they had a nice showing this weekend. I mean, I think we expected more from them in that particular series, but overall, you saw some nice plays from LG, as who we has the second best team coming in for North America. Now it's up to FaZe to prove if they can get it done.
Yeah, and every team that's been eliminated so far at PSX, they have a lot to take away. It's been a good learning experience for all involved, and hopefully